Hi, my name is Cassandra Staff, and in this short video, I'll explain how the GSBI Accelerator will help your social enterprise become investment ready and prepared to scale over the next 10 months of the program. Thanks for watching. Let's start with our goals. For an established organization preparing to scale to reach more customers and beneficiaries, there are two major components required for growth: investment and the operational capacity to turn that investment into impact. GSBI Accelerator will work with you to address those two goals by crafting your justifiable investment ask, which includes details on exactly what kind and amount of capital is required and what you'll do with the funding, presenting your investment opportunity in the language of your prospective investors in a compelling way, establishing operational processes and tools that help you manage growth, and creating a strategy for overcoming pain points within the organization and focusing on the most important strategic initiatives. I'd like to review a framework that guides us at the GSBI. Ultimately, we want to help organizations that are addressing poverty achieve sustainable growth and to scale to positively impact more people. We see four factors as crucial in achieving that: the business model, the impact model, the operations, and the financing. The first factor is your impact model and the associated metrics. Your impact model has to be really clear, showing value to beneficiaries and how that value is measured. And it's important to articulate these details when talking to impact investors. On the x-axis, we've articulated 5 criteria to show some stepping stones in showing the strength of your organization's impact model, whereby the first step is articulating a clear mission statement. The next step would be showing a problem statement rooted in customer feedback. The next, highlighting that your products or services are validated and compelling to your beneficiaries. Then, illustrating a process for collecting impact metrics that prove your intervention has a positive impact. And finally, the documentation of impact metrics that show that your solution is superior to the alternatives. The second factor is your business model and the associated metrics. This includes showing how your business model works, your channels, your unit economics, value chain, and customer ROI. Throughout the program, you will be encouraged to and supported to better articulate your business model in a very clear way to align more support. At a minimum level, you should articulate a clear target market. Then, the unit economics for your business, showing your margins. Then, illustrating your value chain with the customer's return on their investment. The customer acquisition methods and market development plans, or your marketing and sales. And finally, codified partner relations, such as supply chain management. It's important that these two components interact. The overlap is the most critical piece, which means that each time you grow your business, you help more people. And when you increase your impact, you get more money. The overlap area is essentially your value proposition. When your business and your impact model are complementary and integrated, it means that your business can grow both economically and to scale your positive impact on the poor. The third factor in this framework is scalable operations, which also means creating efficiency in order to get the profit margins and cash flow necessary to fund growth. At a minimum, your organization needs a management team to drive operations. Then, operational budgets that correlate to outcomes and performance. Then, documentation of processes so that activities are performed to a standard in a repeatable and scalable way. The next milestone would be strategic initiatives, articulating a path towards growth for the next few years. Ultimately, having integrated key performance indicators and strategic initiatives with accompanying financial metrics. The fourth and final factor we call investment readiness. This includes a broad set of things related to the financial components of your business. The 5 criteria showing the depth of your organization's investment readiness include audited financial results at a minimum. Then, financial projections both for your business as it is and for the strategic initiatives you are hoping to get funded. Then, break-even analysis, profit and cash flow statements. Then, a justifiable ask to communicate to investors what investment is required. And finally, a due diligence folder to secure the deal. The justifiable ask that we want you to articulate includes the following: how much funding is needed? what form of capital you're seeking, what the use of funds is that is hopefully tied to your strategic initiatives and expansion plans, and finally, the return on investment, either in terms of impact, financial, or a combination of the two. In the end, we want to see you in the top right, with a great impact model, a solid business plan, efficient operations, and a really clear ask. By working together with your mentors, the content leads, and others at Miller Center and GSBI, you will understand where you are on this chart and what areas your team needs to focus on to get all of the components outlined and integrated into a compelling story and path forward. So that at the August Investor Showcase, you can present where you are, what the next steps are, and why the funds you're requesting will help you get there. To show you what this all looks like in practice, we're going to look at a presentation given by a social entrepreneur from the 2015 GSBI Accelerator, Eric Sorensen with Carbon Roots International. This August, you will likely be making a similar case for support to a room of potential investors at the GSBI Investor Showcase. I'd like to highlight several elements from his pitch to show how the work Eric and his mentors did from February to August came together. Carbon Roots International combats deforestation and increases rural incomes by producing a sustainable charcoal cooking fuel made from carbonized agricultural waste and sold to local customers as a cleaner, cheaper alternative to traditional wood charcoal.
Our value chain is entirely local, so everybody makes money up and down the value chain. We distribute green charcoal in two channels. One of them is local charcoal wholesalers who have their own distribution networks, and the other is through woman retailers that we recruit and train and turn into shovel and boule retailers. As you can see, there's quantifiable impact up and down the value chain from our suppliers all the way down to our customers.
In this clip, Eric shows a clear value chain with value accruing to each group. We cover this in Module 5, led by Tracy Weatherby, one of our content leads. The goal of that module is to help you understand the economics of every aspect of your business, including your partner's business's economics, to demonstrate to investors and funders that you understand all aspects of your value chain. The clip also shows how the impact model and business model for Carbon Roots are interlinked. In another module, also led by Tracy, she illustrates how your mission and your impact need to come first, but the more tightly your impact model can be integrated to your business model, the more sustainable your venture and your impact will be.
So to meet demand, we need to scale up, and to do that, we need to automate the carbonization process, to go from that simple kiln technology to a more efficient automated way of doing that. We're piloting this early next year, and by next summer, I hope to come back to GSBI and tell you that we're at full automation at our current factory, which means we'll be producing 18 tons of charcoal per day. And in 2017, we'll start scaling across the country with a second factory. And at that point, we'll be providing the energy needs for 125,000 people in Haiti and saving 200,000 trees a year.
This portion of Eric's presentation highlighted CRI's strategy for scale. Throughout the modules, you're refining your growth strategy as you uncover layers of detail around your financials, your business and impact models, operations, and marketing and sales. You'll regularly be updating your business plan with those emerging insights so that your growth plan is reflective of the data and analyses that you've built up. The growth plan that you will ultimately be articulating will be informed by your unique value proposition and your mentor's desire to help you think big and scale massively.
Now, the cost of one of these factories as we scale is $1.2 million. And the return on that investment is 8 times over 10 years. It's profitable in the 4th month and reach cash break even within 2.5 years.
Here, Eric showed financials that are tied to CRI's operating and growth plan. In Module 2, led by John Kohler, you will be taken through capital and fundraising elements, including financial projections, capitalization tables, and valuation models. Ultimately, we want to help you refine your investment ask so that you have credible and clear case for investment, including the amount, use of funds, source of funds, and investment type.
Over the next 3 years, revenue goes up and to the right, which is great. By 2018, we're at almost $4 million. And our gross margins grow as well. And by 2018, it'll be at 50%, which is our target.
Similarly, this clip shows CRI's financial documents and projections that provide very clear investment requirements.
Now, to get our current factory to full automation, we're raising $1.3 million over the next 12 months in 2 tranches. And then to the next year in 2017 to scale, we'll raise an additional $1 million. And once we have these 2 factories up and running, we'll actually be producing enough internal cash flow to launch another factory every year in Haiti for the next 10 years. So what that means is that your investment in Carbon Roots International will save 6.5 million trees over 10 years. And it'll return $47 million in income to the BOP, to smallholder farmers and women retailers, and to our customers in the form of savings. Now, this is GSBI, so of course we did the math, and that works out to 30 cents a tree and to a 20x social return on your investment.
And finally here you saw Eric show a very clear financial ask with the amount, timing, form of capital, and the return to the investor. Of course, the entirety of Eric's takeaways from the GSBI Accelerator are not all captured in a 6-minute pitch. He also spent significant time with his mentors and GSBI content experts, working through tactics for managing his growing team, improving how he manages and measures his social impact, developing a robust operating plan with key performance indicators, and integrating everything into an updated business plan deck that he can use to align his team and to pull from for various meetings and presentations. And finally, he secured 5 meetings with interested investors immediately following his pitch. To see the full 6-minute pitch, please follow the link to view our YouTube channel. When we closed out the 2015 program, we celebrated some of CRI's successes for the year, which included high-profile features in National Geographic and Forbes, as well as funding from new and existing investors to help scale their production. Now let's take a look at some of the program details to understand what everything looks like in practice and what you can expect for this year. The 10-month program is divided into 3 phases. The first is online pre-work that is done remotely between February and July through Skype calls, email, and using our online workspace group site. In August, social entrepreneurs will be invited to attend the 9-day boot camp. This is where we bring together some of the best resources in Silicon Valley and social entrepreneurship together for an intensive set of working sessions, deep dives, networking opportunities, and a highly impactful experience. After the in-residence, you will have a strong plan for scaling. The GSBI and your mentors will work with you through December to help you implement your top strategic initiatives before we officially conclude the program. Let's look at the first phase, the online pre-work. We call it that because it's the foundational work that you are doing to prepare for the in-residence. Content experts deliver the material through online videos. A range of topics designed for organizations at your stage of development are covered in these following areas. You and your mentors will walk through 8 modules in sequence, spending approximately 3 weeks per module. Each module is structured to provide clear objectives and deliverables with practical templates and examples. We know that engaging in this phase is fundamental to your success in the program. The module work first provides a period of assessment for you and your mentors to establish a shared understanding of your business and what you hope to achieve through the program. It then provides training on key areas so that you and your team can start to identify and address the gaps within your organization, a process that will continue throughout the program. Note that while engagement in the pre-work is mandatory for the program, you are not required to do work that is not useful. Therefore, you and your mentors are encouraged to have a conversation about skipping any work that is not going to be providing value to your team. GSBI social entrepreneurs that have received the most value from the program tend to follow this flow. First, at the start of the program, establish a weekly call time. With multiple people in multiple time zones, finding a regular time for a Skype or phone call will be your best bet for frequent communications. Then, watch the module and take a look at the scope of the work. The modules will be posted in group site. the GSBI online workspace. Then watch the module and take a look at the scope of the work. The modules will be posted in GroupSite, our online workspace. Then put the module in context of your business and check with your mentors or the content leads or GSBI staff if anything needs clarification. Then post the draft of your deliverables onto GroupSite. We will be tracking activity and engagement on GroupSite, so it's important to document your work there, as opposed to sending it as an email attachment. From there, your mentors will access your work and provide feedback, either directly on GroupSite or on your next call. After you've integrated their comments, post the revised draft. We would like you to have the mentor sign off before moving on to the next module, so it may take a couple iterations to get there. Once the mentors say that your posting is approved or that you can move on to the next module, you'll have the green light to get started on the next one. And that green light will also translate into a green cell in a tracking dashboard that we use. This will be visible to you and others in the cohort, and this is what we will be using to track activity and engagement on the pre-work. In June, we will evaluate all of the teams within the cohort to determine which enterprises are prepared for the in-residence. We'll be evaluating each on the engagement with the program, the stage of the enterprise, which is highly correlated to the value exchanged throughout the program, and similarly, that the organization is benefiting at participating in the program this year. The social entrepreneurs that are engaging and benefiting from the program will be invited to the August in-residence. In 2015, 15 of the initial 20 that were selected into the program attended the in-residence. Now that we know more or less what's happening up to August, let's talk about the in-residence. The same topic areas covered in the online pre-work will be further elaborated on at the in-residence. This is where all of that foundational work really comes into focus. Additionally, this is when all of the people that you've been working with and watching remotely will be sitting right next to you, providing information and insight to support your mission. Content experts that are mavens in operations, finance, business models, and human resources, and a myriad of other specialties will be available practically on demand. Similarly, your mentors will be present most days, working with you through sessions and presentations. We also bring in mentors at large with extensive social entrepreneurship and investment experience, as well as other CEOs and presentation coaches to help you with any challenges you may have. When you join us at Santa Clara University, you will become a part of a huge family, ready to support you in your enterprise with a rich collection of skills and experiences unparalleled anywhere else in the world. So what exactly will you be doing for 9 days away from your business and from your family? Here's a high-level outline. We'll wine you and dine you. You'll work through various elements of your business with many skilled businessmen and women. We'll give you the tools to prepare to scale. Then we'll help you showcase your business to interested investors. The main takeaway is that you will get a lot out of it, and every single entrepreneur that has come through the in-residence before has found it to be a valuable use of their time and would highly recommend it. We will be providing much more detail as the program progresses on logistics, but here are some important things to remind you of now. Your acceptance to the GSBI Accelerator, or your scholarship, is non-transferable to another member of your team without approval by the GSBI. In other words, you have our trust and respect, and we want to have you here with us in August. That said, we would like you to bring a colleague with you if there's someone else on your team who you would like to work with you through this process. Given that our budget only covers one attendee per enterprise, we ask that you cover a portion of the expenses if you choose to do that. We will be doing a lot of good work together, so it's important that you're here for the entire 9 days. And your scholarship covers the lodging, transportation, meals, and other costs associated with the in-residence. But as an equal partner in this journey together, we ask that your organization covers the cost of your airfare to and from either San Jose or San Francisco, California. Now, let's review the third and final phase of the GSBI Accelerator program, the implementation phase. At the end of the in-residence, your organization will be equipped with a strategy for scale and the fundraising and operational plans to support it. The GSBI staff and your mentors will continue supporting you to implement your strategic initiatives as well as the sometimes complicated process of securing significant investment. Now, you'll be receiving ongoing support from Miller Center as a GSBI alumni, but these final months of the year are the best time to get everything you can from the program, and we'll be there to help. Congratulations on being a part of the GSBI Accelerator program. We're thrilled to work together and to be a part of your incredible journey. Thank you for all that you do.